What is up, my friends? This is Jason Linear here. I am super happy to be here with you on this wonderful day here in, December 17th? So, very happy to be here with you guys. Lots of fun stuff planned for this live stream today. I'm very happy because I'm listening to Fernando. I've been doing a lot of walking. Today is 14,000 steps I've done so far today. I am just getting my game on, and I am not taking any Advil. So, I'm very excited about that. But the whole way I was doing this today was I was listening to Fernando on my headphones. So at any rate, super excited to be with you guys today. Just a quick moment. Every hour, every minute seemed to last eternity. I have all these crazy visions of movies in my head when I listen to Fernando. It's crazy, but that's just me. So at any rate, guys, thanks for being here. We're going to do a lot of fun stuff tonight. We're going to talk about just some of the current events going on in the world of photography. I'm going to answer your questions. And we're also going to be working on critiques. Some of you guys, what's up, Lex? Some of you guys, we did it last session. You guys seem to like it. I did some critiques. I'm not going to do a ton of them here, but I am going to open it up at some point to do some critiques on your images. So if you guys are interested in doing that, you can send your images send your images to what's up, Christina. You can send your images to jason@jlpros.com, and I'd be more than happy to take a look at some of those for a critique session, which could be a lot of fun. So guys, if you haven't had a chance yet, I just wanted to touch base on something really cool that I did today. There is a podcast called The Shrimp Tank. It's a nationally syndicated podcast. I was on their show today, and what's up, guys? And I was on their show today. I was a guest on the Shrimp Tank podcast, and it is a really big podcast. And they had me on, and it really was talked a lot about being an entrepreneur, how to build a business, and how to do all those things. So if you haven't had a chance, go and listen to that podcast. But again, we just recorded it today, so it'll be released on Monday. And then if you haven't had a chance, guys, listen to my podcast. I've been doing a podcast. I restarted my podcast late November, and we've been releasing a new podcast. Well, really, I've been releasing a new podcast every Monday. So check that out. Lots of fun stuff coming. So we're going to have a good time tonight, talk about some stuff, and I'm going to answer your questions as I always do because I love chatting with you guys. So we have some hellos and some heys from some people. What's up, TJ? Mobile Magic by Brian. Hey, Jason, how are you, my friend? I'm doing great. What was the outcome from your arrest by those thug cops for trespassing? They want me to do community service. So again, if you guys haven't seen it, go watch the video. It's called Freedom on my YouTube channel. They want me to do community service because of me filming where everyone else was filming. So again, go check that out online. But that's what it's at. I'm still debating whether or not I do it. It's just a misdemeanor. So if I just blow it off, it's a misdemeanor on my record. But I just have this. I'm digging my heels in with principles, and so I'm trying to not let my principles get in the way of my logic. But I have a hard time doing community service for something that the rest of the 300 people there had no problem doing. It's kind of ridiculous. What's the email again? If you guys want to send emails, send your pictures for a possible critique, send it to jason@jlpros.com. Again, that's jason@jlpros.com. When are you posting fresh content on your podcast? I went there, and one of them was the audio from Move, one of your videos on YouTube, it seemed. I've posted 3 new podcasts, one every Monday, but I've actually been posting them every Sunday because it sometimes takes Apple a while for it to get over onto the Apple side. And the Apple podcast is by far my biggest distribution channel of the podcast. And by the way, it's really cool. If you look in the visual arts section of iTunes, mine is one of the top in the visual arts section for podcasts, which is really cool. So check that out. But if you guys are looking for the newest podcast, just go to my website, jasonlinear.com/podcast, and you can find they're all listed there in order. So it's very easy to find them. Lex says, could you please give us some tips on how to shoot family portraits with Christmas tree and lights in the background? Yeah, absolutely, Lex. I know you in particular. Lex has been to some of my workshops. I know you in particular have some Roto-Lights and stuff. I would definitely get like an AOS out and put the illuminator on it. Or if you don't have the illuminator, just put some of those, diffusers on the front, those filters on the front. You will get some beautiful shots. So you guys expose, keep this in mind, you expose for the Christmas tree. That's what you set your camera for. And then you set the light for your family, for your friends, whoever you're taking a picture of. That's what you do to really get great shots. So if you do that, that's pretty much how you get great Christmas shots. I've thought about doing a video on that, but we'll see. Thanks, Jason. I work too much. So I work too much. So time to dream of my 1.2 prime lenses dancing in my head. Absolutely. Absolutely. Getting some of those prime lenses is huge, without a doubt. You must be a Canon guy if you're talking about 1.2s, because nobody else really sports the 1.2s, really. Wendy says, hi, Jason. How do you keep greens from ruining images in Ohio Metro Park environmental photos if you aren't completely negating ambient? Well, you have to use light. You have to use light. You can knock out, she's talking about color cast. If you're going to knock out color cast in your images, the only way to do it is to use light. So if you don't use light, guys, you're not going to be able to get rid of color cast. And that's actually one of the key problems that a lot of natural light only photographers struggle with is color cast. And then they try to fix it in post, and it's just not the same. So if you want good images that don't have nasty color cast, then you're going to have to use lighting. Guys, use lighting. Use lighting. You want the best deals out there right now? Go to rotolight.com/JasonOffers. Rotolight.com/JasonOffers, guys. But if you want good lighting, that's how you do it. But if you want good tones and colors and catch lights, you have to use lighting. And I don't know what photographer started the trend to make natural light only so popular, but that's fun for Instagram, but it's not really fun for doing client work. Clients are not going to be okay with color cast in their shots. And if you don't know what color cast is, I'll explain it real quick. If you go to shoot in a park and there's a lot of sun, the more sun there is, the more color cast you're going to get on your subject. So for instance, a natural light only photographer will put their subjects underneath a tree during sunny times because that's the only way they can knock out bad light. Well, what happens is that strong light comes in and it hits the surface of the ground, which is typically grass. You will have that. I'm not making this up. You will have that light hit that grass, and it'll, especially on a white person, it will cast a really green tone on that person's face. So if they're next to leaves, if they're next to anything, if they're next to bricks, they'll pick up a red tone. So white people really pick up a lot of. We look at us whiteys. I mean, we got all sorts of. We're just like a magnet for color. So if you want to get rid of color cast, you have to overpower it with light. So anyone who tells you that you don't need light is just selling you a bag of coal. It's not real stuff. And what ends up happening is if their shots, this person, they don't shoot with natural light or they don't shoot with light and their stuff looks great. They're spending hours upon hours upon hours on one image. I promise you they are. So if you want the best shots, the only way to do that is to use lighting, guys. Truly. Recon says, Jason, have you ever done, you guys are welcome. Okay, you guys have started sending photos. That's great. What camera systems are you're currently using? Mostly Sony, and then I'll get, who in the world? Someone is texting the lights out of me, but it's my family, my brother. But stop it, Ryan. Anyway, but what was I at? Oh, I'm usually mostly Sony, but I'm going to get into some Canon stuff as well. But it's mostly Sony. Have you ever done a Christmas video? I don't think you have. I don't know that I have. I did a Christmas video a number of years ago for an orphanage, but that really wasn't how to do Christmas shots. I'll see if I can get one done before Christmas. I have a shoot planned tomorrow. Roto-Light sent me a second Titan, so I have 2 Titan X1s. So that's pretty amazing. So I can't wait for that. That's going to be awesome. Canon, even way back, the 55mm 1.2 was setting the trend. Yep, absolutely. I just got the Tamron 2470 G2, like it so far. Yeah, Tamron's got great stuff, guys. Tamron's got really great stuff, especially if you don't want to break the bank. Tamron. There's no third consonant in there, Jason. Get it together. So well, that would actually be a vowel, because it'd be an A or an E if it was Tamron. So come on, Jace. It's Tamron. Tamron's got some great stuff if you're really trying to save some money. Love your channel. I thought Colorcast was from White Balance. No, Colorcast is from the environment. It's all from the environment. So that is really interesting. As a person that shoots black and white, mostly I have not noticed. Yeah, and by the way, that's the oldest trick in the book. If you're lighting or if you're coloring, well, really, those are hand in hand, my friends. If your lighting and coloring are not where they need to be, well, what do? You flip it black and white. So that's why, another reason why you'll see a lot of portraits, a lot of things like that are, they're black. And excuse me, a lot of like photojournalism, a lot of street photography and stuff is black and white. And yes, the roots of those genres are based in black and whites from the olden days. But nowadays, a lot of times people are turning it, because when you're taking a picture of somebody doing street photography and they're walking down the street and it's a big yellow lamp, for example, it really puts a nasty tone on that person's face. And so the only way to really negate that is to either say, hey, do that thing that you were doing naturally and continue to keep doing it. And then as you're doing it, let me have an assistant run by and hold up a light and blah, 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 which obviously I'm being facetious. You're not going to do that. So what does a street photographer do? They make it black and white. And, like when I shot the riots and the protests and everything else, it's one of the ways to get rid of really bad coloring, to be honest. And yes, some images just do naturally look better black and white, but that is one of the oldest tricks in the books. Hi, Jason. I'm new at photography and I got a Sony a6000. Any tips for me and other beginners to get better or something to look for? If you haven't already, focus on shooting in manual mode. Anyone who tries to tell you that you don't need to learn manual is somebody who really doesn't understand photography. I would say that statement to anyone's face, in front of anyone. I don't care how experienced they are. I would say that to their face, and I would eventually win that argument. Eventually, because people are stubborn, and sometimes it takes a little bit of a go to try to get somebody to really understand the logic behind that statement. But truly, if you really want to get better at photography, understand how to shoot manually, and not just manually with your camera, but understand how to shoot manually with your flash. Anybody who tries to sell you, the fact that they sell lights that are TTL and they're exponentially more expensive than manual lights is ridiculous. So what you need to do is really learn your lights, learn your camera. And guys, just let me articulate this as clearly as I possibly can. If I can do it, you can do it. Truly, if I can do it, you can do it. So it doesn't take rocket science to figure out manual. It just takes patience and perseverance, and you can get it. You really can. Why do people back button focus? People back button focus as a result of being sports photographers. And really, back button focus is based on people. Let's just be real. It's based on the fact that cameras sucked, to be blunt. Back in the day, and they really didn't have a good grasp on focusing systems. So you would back button focus because you would have to focus and recompose. So why people still back button focus, I don't know. It's really funny when I'm at one of my workshops, especially the Sony guys, anybody who comes with the Sony, and they say, hey, help me with this. And I grab their camera and I push the focus button and it doesn't focus. And I'm like, oh, are you back button focused? And they're like, well, yeah. Well, why? Well, I came from Nikon. Stop it. You don't have to do that anymore. And so that's really why people back button focus. Hi. Okay. I already covered that. Why Canon is not sharp and bad for details? I have great results with Canon. So you can have great results with any camera, guys. You got to know how to use this stuff. I mean, between Canon, Nikon, and Sony, especially Canon and Sony, they're just great. And I'm not bashing on Nikon. I'm just saying between the three big players, if you're not getting sharp results, you're probably doing something wrong. And I'm not trying to be a jerk when I say that, but it's just the truth. If you're not getting great results, you're probably not doing something right. You're probably shooting at too slow of a shutter. You're probably shooting at too wide of an aperture. Your hands are shaky, or your lens is too long. I mean, there are many times where I see photographers shooting like a 70 to 200, and when they're zoomed all the way out at 200, they don't get sharp pictures. And they're like, oh, something's wrong with my camera. No, it's not. You guys, the further you zoom into something, the closer you zoom into something, the higher you need to raise your shutter speed, because if you don't, the higher probability that it's going to be out of focus or soft is much higher. So what you need to do is keep that in mind. And let me give you a little object lesson as to how that works. If you have a camcorder and you use the zoom, I don't care if it's a digital or an optical zoom on the camcorder. It matters not. If you take a camcorder and you zoom into something, you ever notice when you're holding it and you're way zoomed in, if you just go like this, it's like you're way out of focus. It's way off, right? The same thing happens when you use a camera. So if you're really zoomed into something, expect that your focus has a much higher probability of being off. So you either if you're going to do something like that, sports photography. That's why when you see sports sidelines, so on and so forth, like when I shoot the NFL, almost 9 times out of 10, everybody's using a monopod. That's not just to mitigate weight that they're holding that's heavy. It's also to, get great shots. So that really does matter. Someone says, lucky me. It's probably due to the thing I made about the Titan. Sunny 16 rule. Yep. Question, Titan X1 LED light enough to overpower the sun outside? First answer is yes. Can I use just one light to light up a wide portrait? I use a Leica SL2, so I can't use the transmitter. Yes, absolutely. One thing I will tell you that's very unique to the Titans versus the round Roto-Lights, which is the EOS, the Nova Pro 2, and the Neo 2. The EOS, the Nova Pro 2, and Neo 2 all are twice as powerful in flash mode compared to constant. The Titan line, the Titan X1, the Titan X2 are not twice as bright. In other words, they're maximizing even more power in constant mode than the other ones. And so the difference between flash and constant in the Titan line is negligible. So for somebody like you with a Leica, if you use the lights in constant mode, you're going to get great results. If you want to see examples of that, check out that Titan X1 video that I did. I shot a girl named Maddie, and she's reading a book. And in that shot, I'm firing flash, but I'm firing flash to conserve power, just to be honest with you. So not power output, but to conserve power usage. Just the other day, I was at the Salton Sea and I was shooting, and I forgot to charge batteries. And so what I did was I only had 1 bar left, and the Titan X1 takes 2 batteries. And so I used both of my batteries, only had 1 bar left. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I screwed up. So what I just said to myself, well, just make it easy. Just do the shoot in flash mode. And I did the shoot in flash mode and saved a ton of power. And I was able to shoot hundreds and hundreds of shots. It was awesome. Christina says, you're so selfless with your gift of information is priceless. Thank you. Well, thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I'm stuck on making choice of buying an A7R3 or A7 III for portrait and landscape, but if I want quality, would it be smart to get the A9? Honestly, if I had to choose between the 3, if you are going to be doing any sort of landscape photography, I would definitely recommend doing the R3. What about manual with auto ISO? No. Don't do manual with auto ISO unless you know what you're doing. The reason you don't want to do that is because you're going to put yourself in a situation where if you screw up your manual settings, okay, as an example, let's say you screw up and you just think life is good and you go to 0.008 of a second on your shutter. Well, what is your camera going to do? It's going to have to compensate for that. And you will make this mistake. You or anybody will make this mistake. And then you're going to get home, you're going to look at your shots, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, why are my shots so grainy? Well, your camera just went up to 6400 ISO because you forgot to move your shutter down. It's really tricky when you do auto ISOs. You got to be really careful. The only time I use auto ISO is when I'm doing video work and I'm filming a YouTube video, for example, and it's going to be a light situation where the lighting is changing. So typically, let's say I'm shooting a golden hour and it's going to go from golden hour to sunset to dusk. I'm going to put that in auto ISO. So as I'm shooting and it's just rolling video, the camera doesn't go dark. That's the only time I use auto ISO. Learn day by day. Absolutely. You're welcome, Christian. I've never used back button focus. Good. Don't start. The better, Jason. Okay. Hey, Jason, Michael Brown. You are finally having live streams that doesn't mess up my bedtime. Well, you're welcome, Michael. I did it thinking of just you. I have wonderful memories of falling through walls with Michael Brown. That's not a joke. We did that at an abandoned hotel. I literally fell through a wall. Have you tried the double back button focus on the R5, R6? I have not. But if Rory says it, Rory went with me to Cuba. Rory was busy getting drunk and smoking cigars, so I have very fond memories of Rory. He's a riot. So no, I haven't tried that, but I will. Long Rider, what's up, baby? What's up, baby? How you doing, my friend? Long time no see. I need to see you next time I come out to New York, brother. The better you understand your tools, the more your tools will help you more. Exactly. Sorry for joining late. Is this going to be a every Thursday thing? I'm not sure, but I have been doing a live stream every week. So I'm trying to get to a point where I can commit to a day. But as of right now, I've been doing them once a week. But I will be putting out a schedule, kind of like I have with the podcasts, so we can make these even better for everybody. What RJ says, oh, Santa Maria Guadalupe. All right, ¿dónde fuiste? But what is the best crop ratio to use when cropping and you're going to make prints? It's interesting you say that, guys. I've been doing a lot with the, I've been switching a lot of my crops to the 8x10, 5x7 for one reason and one main reason. The main tool that I have to really display my imagery right now, which is 90% of photographers, is Instagram. So when I shoot a vertical shot, I always switch it to an 8x5 or an 8x10 or a 5x7 because that's the way it displays on Instagram. So if you want to have your images displayed in a way that you want to be able to determine the crop, that's what I would recommend. I've noticed a great misconception with using a DSLR or mirrorless is that people think the camera takes great pictures. No, the person using the camera takes great pictures. Practice, practice, practice. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. It's funny you say that because on the video that I did in Palm Beach, I did it with a model named Maria. And I left a comment in there where she says, wow, you have such a great camera. Well, Maria came out here this last week and shot with me. And she was like, I have a bone to pick with you. Your fans really got on me because you left that in the video. Why would you leave that in the video? And I said, because it's funny. It's funny because we hear that stuff all the time. So I interviewed her. She's going to be in the podcast. You guys will hear it, but I put it in there and she was able to address it. But no, it's laughable. It's like saying that, wow, you must have, you won the Indy 500. You must have a great race car. I mean, yeah, you got to have tools, but you got to have the person driving it. And so we're the drivers and the camera's the tool. When you pair and put those together is when you get magic. Oh, ay Dios mío. No, I just you can set a max for auto ISO like 3200. Yes, you can. Yes, you most definitely can. But to me, it's so easy, guys. It's so easy because unless you're shooting in really dark environments, the only time I would say auto ISO would be more beneficial would be like when I shot a Raiders game in Oakland before they moved to Vegas. And they're in an open air stadium. And man, they would, in the NFL, those mother freakers are fast. And, they'd throw the ball and they'd be at the 20-yard line on one side. And then the quarterback launches a huge pass, guy catches it, blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden they're going from shade to sun and they're going very fast. That's the only time that I would recommend auto ISO because you're not fast enough to change and capture the action. So sports photography, something where there's a very fast changing lighting environment, auto ISO would come into play. But for the most part, you really want to have better control over that. That monopod with the speed light and umbrella attached also comes in handy for mom to hold while shooting a senior. Yes, it does. These live streams are on point. Thank you, Aaron. Thanks for being here again. Michael Burke. Hey, Jason, you mother freaker. We met in Boston. I'm converting to mirrorless after much fighting it. Resistance is futile, my man. Resistance is futile. Just give in. Let the father of mirrorless photography, which is me, let's just face it, mother freakers, I ushered in this mother freaking tsunami on the world. So welcome to the club. Stop fighting it. Just You can call me the Jim Jones of mirrorless, baby. Just drink the Kool-Aid and let's have a party. Old Recon says, where do you expose your histogram? I don't use it. Histogram is for following the stock market. A lot of people shoot to the right and some people shoot to the left. Can you explain how you personally expose? I just look at the back of my camera and I'm like, geez, can I see the details? If I can't see the details in the clouds or the bride's dress or whatever else, then it's overexposed. This doesn't need to be difficult. I sometimes think about the way that I shoot and teach, and I seriously say, I can't be, it's not like other people can't figure this out. I just don't get it. So that's the way I do it. It's not rocket science. Taylor Payne, what's up, baby? Taylor has a man crush on me. Taylor sent me nudes after our last after our last live stream. Taylor's DMing me on Instagram. He's like sending me pics and they're all blurred and everything. He's going to be mad at me for that. I'm a Canon shooter and I still use Canon 6 years now, but I have a big dynamic problems and shadow recovery problems. Yep. Get rid of that camera. Canon 6D M2. Any advice to fix this problem? I think to switch to Sony is good. You don't have to switch to Sony. Just go mirrorless. I would either, dynamic range on the old DSLRs is trash. So I'd either switch to, I mean, if you already have Canon, just go Canon mirrorless, to be honest. If you could own 4 lenses that cover all types of photography, be prepared for anything, what would it be? 70-200, 16-35, 35 millimeter and 85. Those would be my weapons. P means pro, right? Yeah, right. P means pathetic. And if you're watching this and you shoot in P, don't take offense to that. Just know you need to move. You need to move, my children of the corn. Move to the light. Move to the light. Get off of P. Okay. Michael Bell, I'm going to start shooting my portraits in 4:3, mostly for IG. Hate the crop on 3:2, and 3:2 should have never become the standard for portraits. One reason I like micro 4/3. Yeah, micro 4/3 is great if you enjoy shooting during ample light. The reason micro 4/3 never took off with serious photographers, don't get pissed at me, guys. It's just the truth, okay? But the reason it never took off, like Olympus sent me gear, and I love shooting. It was fun to shoot it, but it's not feasible. It's not feasible for dynamic range. The sensor's too small to really move that light and move those shadows. So you think you have a problem with your old Canon DSLRs, try shooting micro 4/3. Woo! How do we use more than one Roto-Light coupon code? Was interested in Nova Pro plus transmitter and maybe the Illuminator, but adding multiple coupons only applies one. Great question, Dustin. If you go to rotolight.com/JasonOffers, when you enter, you have to do it individually so you can cheat the system. And I'm encouraging you to cheat the system. So enter one code, buy it, enter another code, buy it, and enter another code, buy it. Just do it that way. You'll cheat the system, and I'm more than happy to give you permission to cheat the system. Roto-Light, if you're watching this, it's your fault. So cheat the system and go on and add those and just do it that way. Just do it that way. You get free shipping on all the stuff anyway, so who cares? Pimp mode. Yeah, baby. But see, it can't be pimp mode because if it's pimp mode, I would shoot it. That's the truth. I only use auto ISO for concert photography. Yeah, that would make more sense. Join the mirrorless dark side. Exactly. Join the dark side, my man. Jason, love the rings. Do you use them as brass knuckles? Okay, so I'm adding my ring collection. For those who don't know, if you watch my older videos, I had my rings, right? And then I did a shoot at the Salton Sea, went to the bathroom, which is like 40 miles away, no joke, in a place called Mecca. It's hilarious. It's called Mecca because it's like in the armpit of California. But there's this Arco station, and I go into the Arco station and I'm filthy. Like every time I go to the Salton Sea, you smell like a sea creature, a disgusting sea creature. And I go to wash my hands. I take all my rings off, and I had rings, and the rings were very special to me. I had rings from Africa, Cuba, Europe. I mean, they were very meaningful to me. And I took the rings off, washed my hands, and I walked out of the bathroom, and I'm not even exaggerating. 15 seconds later, I realized, oh my gosh. And it was at nighttime. It was not busy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I left my freaking rings. And I'm like, there's no way anyone took them. So I ran right back in as fast as I can run. But I ran right back in, and They're gone. And there was a crew there doing tile work. And I said, guys, where are my rings? There's nobody else here. What? What do you mean? I said, where are my rings? And then I even said it to them in Spanish. And where are mis anillos? Where are my rings? And they're like, we have no idea. And I'm like, you know what? You guys suck. For reals. Like, do I really need to call the cops? And it was the beginning to become this thing. And I'm like, okay, you stole my rings. That sucks. It really hurts because those rings were very special to me. So, you know, I finally started adding to my ring collection again. And I even added my little necklace back. I'm getting my swagger. Everything's getting on. I mean, I'm getting my fitness on and my swagger walk. I practice my swagger walk when I'm now. It could be a swagger walk, but it could just be my limp. I don't know. I try to convince myself it's swagger. I think it's more limp, but regardless, yes. When I have my full set, when I'm fully decked out, yes, they are brass knuckles. And I always think about that. I'm like, if someone like started something, it would be really nice because then it'd be like crack. And so, see, I learned something too. One of my rings that I had previously was sterling silver. Sterling silver is actually more of a soft metal, silver soft. So I've had to go stainless steel this time because if I do get into a tussle with somebody, I want it to leave a dent. Somebody's going to report that somewhere. Okay. What are some milestones in your career? For example, your first magazine cover or YouTube video views? Great question. My first magazine cover, I have a copy of it up here. You can't see it, but it was my first cover was a British photography magazine. That was amazing. That was of a beautiful model named Cassandra. Gosh, milestones for, I think the biggest milestone for me YouTube wise was probably my Six Flags New Orleans video, when that one really blew up, and that helped get me in People magazine. And then my Sony video, my 10 reasons, that blew me up. That got me to be a Sony artisan. Things like that were big milestones for me. So yeah, those are special moments. Thanks for asking. You underexpose more now? Exactly, baby boy. They say you can't go by the screen on your camera to expose because it's not very good or accurate. Some even say use a meter. Well, they're stupid. They're stupid. I know that's blunt, but you guys, there's a reason why I do my videos and I just show you the way I shoot. I show you the back of my screen. I mean, give me a break. So you just have to take the crutches off, be like Forrest Gump, take the braces off and run, for reals. I had the 6D Mark II and went to the EOS R and haven't looked back. Yeah, exactly. What's up, Chad? What's up, baby boy? Chad's my dog. He literally is my dog. Chad, by the way, funny story on Chad. Like when photographers leave stuff, Chad's right on the mark. I'll leave it at that. I won't say anything more. What's the best lens to use for portraits and shoot short distance brides, etc. Range and opening wide aperture with off flash? Oh, the 35. Oh, the means Michael Bell's telling me that the medium format means M43 means medium format. Same difference. But you want to talk about medium format, we can. But what I said about micro four thirds still stand. Taylor Payne, yeah, I did like it. I did like when you sent in the nudes. Tony and Chelsea Northrup, yeah, those, yeah. I'll leave those ones alone. I saw something today. He's like trying to pretend they made a knockoff movie of Harry and the Hendersons, and I'm like, well, I guess I'll just focus on photography. Step-by-step training program for building John Wicks of photography. Only one chance to get it right. With 2 hot models on your cover, bam, done. I like it. I like it, Aaron. We should let's work that one out. Let's concept that out, baby. Yeah, I had no rings for a while. They were stolen, and it was actually painful. It made me sad. Yeah. I'm about to get rid of my R6 because of the dynamic range. I have more dynamic range with my old A6000 files than with this camera. Well, that's a Sony versus Canon thing. I said Canon, DSLR to Canon mirrorless, but Sony, nobody beats them on focus and dynamic range. It's just the truth, y'all. Have you played with the Tamron lens for Sony E-mount? Yes, I have. Did I like them? Yes, I do. I played with the 70 to 180. It was a great lens. I played with the 1535. And I'm great friends with the people at Tamron. They'll send me stuff if I ask. So if you guys want to see something, let me know. Escondido in the house. Thank you so much. Thank you, Creston. Creston, you're about 35 minutes from me, baby boy. In Escondido. I know where you're at. I pass by you every time I go down to San Diego to go to the airport. God, I wish I was in Hero Shots tax bracket to be able to get rid of an R6. Yeah, no doubt. Hero 6 is rich. I'm shooting a large group and was wondering what tips you have for getting everyone in sharp focus. Sometimes the people on the edges get a bit soft. Shoot further back. Leave yourself spacing on the sides and shoot at about f4 to 5.6, depending on the size of the group. Where do I order the Roto-Light? Any links, pricing, and brand? I could not find. Just go to rotolight.com/Jason offers. I'll write it here. Let me see. Can I write on this thing? www.rotolight. Test my typing skills. There you go, love bug. Jason's got his mojo back. Hell yeah. I'll just leave it at that. R6 has 15 5-stops of dynamic range. How much DR do you need? Learn to expose properly. Well, that's true. Dude, you are totally swagger. Yeah. Russ, what's up, Russ? What's up, babe? Oh, you guys are fun. Not until he comes to Spokane for a workshop because he did in Seattle, which is crap because Seattle is dying. Well, I'll come anywhere people want. You already hold the camera like a gangster. Yes, I do. And when I hold it like a gangster and I have the rings, dude, I feel like it's just like crazy. It's like, I feel like I'm a Rambo. It's pretty incredible. Fitness. If you have a Hot Works near you, check that out. I live in California. Nothing's open. I hit that place and it's brutal. 15-minute workout. That's equivalent to an hour. It's in a sauna. No thanks. No thanks. I won't do that. I'm just going to go walk and listen to Fernando. I noticed you don't wear a camera strap. Any reason why you prefer that? I don't like camera straps because they get caught. They're restrictive, and you look like a nerd. So, so when you hold a camera like a boss, you look like a freaking boss. So that's why. No way in hell does it have 15 stops. How do you get to the level of being able to travel and do photography full time and get to artisan level to get paid to travel? You got to be good. You got to have a demand for your product. I spoke about that in the podcast today. You guys, you've got to have good product. So guys, if you're really good, people are going to want your stuff. It's that simple. So you have to get really good. So if you're not having those kinds of requests right now, then improve your craft and then start marketing it. Years back, your Dubai trip was on the YouTube showing lighting. Was it just that short workshop or was there more topics covered? Oh, when I went, Sony flew me out to Dubai. I went out there and had a great time and with Maddie, and then another model was there, I forget her name. Then we met a prince, and a prince got us into somewhere, and then we got thrown out. And then you guys want to hear a funny story? So Sony flies me out to Dubai, okay, and I'm on the stage at this big, huge trade show. And of course, typical me, I'm making cracks. Well, there's a sheik there, and the sheik is like a prince or something, okay? And you're not supposed to talk directly to the sheik, okay? I was told that ahead of time. This is why sometimes I don't always work well with some things because I'm me, I kind of do me. And so I'm standing on the stage and and I'm tethered, okay? This is a funny story. And I'm standing on the Sony stage and I'm tethered. And I'm announcing, this is the official launch of the Sony A7R3 in Dubai in the Middle East at this convention. And I'm the head person doing it. And I'm tethered and I'm shooting. And I turned to the sheik and I said, hey, do you ever notice that your shots are blurry? And he looks at me and he goes, yeah, because I knew he liked photography. And I said, you ever go like this? This is why you need to have in-body image stabilization. Otherwise, it looks like you're drunk when you take pictures. Oh my gosh, the whole place went quiet. I didn't know that this particular area or province of Dubai that I was in was a dry province. In other words, they didn't allow any alcohol. So I hear people, the Sony people freak out and they're like, and this happened a lot when I was an artisan. You would hear, and they would be doing this and there'd be wringing of hands and all this. And then everyone just sits there and pauses. And I'm thinking, okay, I clearly said something that I shouldn't have said. But then I look at the guy and I said, come on, man, don't you know that's the truth? And then he started laughing. And when he laughed, the whole place laughed. And I'm like, see, y'all are way too uptight. Like everyone's way too freaking uptight. Have some fun with this stuff. And so, what was I talking? So that's what I did in Dubai. So yeah, we did a lot of stuff in Dubai, shot on the top of a skyscraper, did the lighting course. We did a lot of fun stuff. So I'll be going back to Dubai. Oh, big news. I got hired by a rich family to go to Africa with them. That's going to be late June, early July. So this is really freaking cool. They called me up, and I did work for them years ago. And they're like, dude, we love your stuff, but we're going to Africa. We've rented a private charter, and we're going to go down the river, the Zambezi River, and we're going to have hippos and crocs and everything else. But we don't want to have bad shots. We know you've been there a bunch of times. Can you go with us? Is this real? And they're like, yeah. And I said, you're going to pay me to do this because I would do it for free. No, yeah, we're going to pay you. Yeah, hell yeah. So that's happening. So that's really fun. There's a lot of cool stuff shaping up for next year. Ever do underwater shoot? Yes, I've done underwater shoots. I did one in the Florida Keys. I went under the ocean with what do they call that? Oh, come on. Not a defibrillator. I know that's not what it is. But anyway, we went, and it was a really bad storm. We had to call the shoot. So then we went and did it in the pool, but I'm going to get back to doing more of that. That was fun. Does Tamara make a 35 for email? I'm not sure. G-string says, hello, what's up, G-string? I know it's 6-string, but G-string's funnier. Has 35 millimeter peaked? When will we start seeing more affordable medium format cameras like the Fuji GFX? I don't know. I don't think it has peaked. I really don't. Yeah, Tony and Chelsea claim their book is number one. Yeah, I don't care about them. So, Jason, when you're going to donate your Roto-Lights to me, I'm not donating anything to you, Taylor, because you're going to take more nudes with my lights, and my lights will be scarred forever. And that leads into the next one. Taylor, you can take his small lights. I'll take his Titan X1. What Tamron primes do you like? I love their 85. And I haven't used them enough to really give a very descriptive or educated answer, to be honest. G&D Photography. Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? I'd rather hang out with homeless infested Seattle over Spokane. Pfft, he'd thrive in Spokane comps, man. Dude, I go where the money is, bitch. So wherever the money is where I go. So Aaron, you want me to come to Spokane? Start finding out if people are interested. If people are interested, I'm going to go. It's all about the money. I got to get paid if I'm going to create my work, mother freaker. Scenario, it's night. Cityscape. All right, play the Fernando music. You guys ready? We got to have Fernando playing for this. Ready? Here we go. Okay. Cityscape. It's night. In the background, subject has fire on a pole. How much light would you meter for it? I like this part of the song. Hang on. Doesn't this make you guys want to dance? I love that song. Anyway, how would you expose for when you're in a very dark scenario like that, you actually expose for the fire because the fire is the brightest spot. Guys, exposure is exposing for the brightest spot in any image. That's what you do. You expose for the brightest spot in any given scenario. And so you expose for the fire with your camera, and then you use lighting for your subject. You're so abused. Yeah, you are. You should team up with Nick Page on a podcast. I don't know who that is, but sure. Sounds fun. You feel like Rambo. You shoot more like Stop. You look like more like Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. I'm sexy, bitch. Adam, you want to do a sexy off? I am good looking and I know it. So don't you start that stuff with me. Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. You look like the mom in that, Adam. I've seen you with your shirt off. You want to get going with me, Adam? Adam, we're at a workshop in Georgia, and Adam takes off his shirt and exposes his beauty to the entire world to see, takes off his sweaty shirt and asks the model to wear it. Now, this model unbelievably agreed. I can't believe it, but she did. So Adam and I are friends, which is why he's giving me the business. But First workshop I go to in Alaska, you walk in and I'm thinking, who the heck is this? And what did I get myself into? Then reality set in. We had a good time, Russ. We sure did. Which is the best Nikon D3? Which is the best, Nikon D3 or Nikon D750? Totally different beasts. The D750 is obviously a lot newer. The D3 is built like a beast. So if you want, I don't know. I wouldn't shoot either of them, to be honest. But not. I'm not trying to be mean when I say that, but the D750 was Nikon's attempt at creating a mirrorless type camera in a DSLR. But it's kind of plasticky. Camera straps are like a crazy ex-girlfriend you pay child support to that ties you down and won't go away. So true. Where do you market your photos to get known? Well, social media at first. I mean, it's all got to be about social media. Everything is social media these days. And if you want brands to use you, you have to have a social media following. It really is that simple. Where's the best place to get your photos critiqued so you can grow? My family says my photos are amazing, but I need someone to say they suck. My Patreon channel, patreon.com/Jason Lehner Photography. We do critiques every month. Mentors are hard to find because you don't do workshops. And, Aaron, stop being a little bitch. Okay. Why don't you join Patreon? You could be learning on Patreon instead of whining to me here on my live stream. Join Patreon. You'll get abused like you won't believe on Zoom. We do private Zoom calls on my Patreon channel, and we do. But abuse is not really real. We have fun, but no, we learn, and Patreon's where it's at. Put them in Facebook groups. I don't have Facebook. Too many hot girls hit on me, and my girlfriend got jealous. Throw mama from the train. I screwed up and deleted it because of my army and wanting to be a cop. What's the next best thing? Go to Instagram. You flirting with the girls, dude. How big of a group would you need to make a trip here to Wisconsin? If you can get 5 together, then I come. And then the rest we'll handle through marketing. You get 4 or 5 together, we'll come. Are there any modifiers for the EOS between that tiny worthless square on the Roto-Light site and the illuminator? You can use regular umbrellas. Just get an umbrella bracket, umbrella holder, and you can use any umbrellas on any Roto-Lights. It's fantastic. Will you take the Sony 200-600 on your safari trip? Sure. I'll ask Sony. They'll send it to me. So would I take it? Sure. That's not a bad idea. That's a good idea. When are we going to do Chernobyl? Soon. I want to do Chernobyl next year because 2020 sucks so bad. I was about to make a joke about the Ukraine, but I'm sure we could go to the Ukraine without a problem. I asked him that last time, even down to asking if he needs private security, but he has no fear. So we need to do a better loophole. Yeah, guys, I have no fears. Do you need an assistant for Africa? I do not need an assistant for Africa right now. Jeff, I am Jeff from Wisconsin. Count me in. Ooh, cool. Regulator, scuba equipment. There you go. It is a regulator. Thank you, brother. All right. You know what? That challenge accepted. Marketing for this will happen. Do it, bitch. I've called Aaron a bitch like 3 times. Jose, the only reason, okay. I'm not getting into Tony and Chelsea. If whatever they do to be happy in their life is great. Doesn't have any impact on me. What's up, babe? What's up, Jason? Damn, you're so handsome. Thank you. Who is this? Is this the naked? Is this Roman? All the Russian guys always show up naked in everything we do, or they're just wearing their underwear. I think they idolize Putin. Somebody's going to get mad at me for that. What's up, baby? You don't have the stones to step against me on a runway. Oh my gosh, Adam. My stones would crush you. Hey, Jason, bless you, brother. What's up, Danny? Do the Pendleton, baby. Danny's this beautiful older gentleman in Kentucky, and he shakes his butt, and he calls it the Pendleton. That was at the Kentucky workshop. Guys, if you haven't been to one of my workshops, they are not like normal workshops. You learn more than you'll learn in any other workshop, and you have more fun than you'll have at any other workshop because we are real, and it is a blast. What's the best pocket camera for zoom and low light? Oh, geez. Probably like the Sony RX Mark 20,000, whatever it is these days. But Estelle Getty was the greatest. That I would say something like that. I would get one of those Sonys. Not again. I don't get paid by Sony, y'all. I remember way back when I bought my Sony NEX3 and people made fun of my mirrorless. Yeah, they were wrong, right? Those same people asked me how I get such good shots those days. Those are the people who set it on auto. Exactly. Aaron says, okay, Jason, that was exactly what I needed. Baha, your Yelp review just went up a half star. If I was a chick, that would have turned me on. Oh, Aaron, we gotta meet. You're fun, dude. Chad says, join Patreon for sure. The abuse from Jason is never ending. Kidding. Do it for sure. He's helped me out immensely over the last 2 years. Yeah, Chad's been on there for 2 years, and his photography has improved immensely. I'm very proud of Chad. He's done a great job. Mike Branch, Jason, you're a great teacher. I've learned a lot from you over the years. I've watched many videos. Thank you. Thank you so much. Are you still endorsed by Sony? No. Sony and I ended things, a year, 2 years ago? I don't know. And it was the best. It was the best. But am I still close with them? Yes. Do we still do stuff together? Yes. But you guys should listen to my podcast. They really help to give you some insight on that stuff. And I'm telling you, as you grow, you have to understand yourself as a brand, and you have to understand where you are a benefit to others and where they're a benefit to you. And if it's not something that's mutually beneficial, then it gets to a point where you need to move in another direction. Maybe later for Africa. As of right now, no. Hi, Jason. It's Beth, dear. Well, hi, Beth. How are you, my friend? Ted from Wisconsin. Ooh, we got some Wisconsin people. Hey, if you guys are serious, send me an email, jason@jailpros.com. And if you guys are serious about Wisconsin, we'll get it scheduled and we'll do it. Looking handsome. Thank you, Beth. Tell that to Adam, that little mother freaker. I am in Florida. I have the Sony A7 III. Would you sell Canon? Would you sell your Canon 70-200 VR2 for the Sony one? I don't know. I mean, the Sony G Master is amazing, but I don't know if I'd sell it because you're going to lose so much money. You're going to lose like $1,000 between those. Have you had any experience with the Sigma 24mm 1.2? I have not. I have the Sigma 20mm 1.4, and I love it. My first workshop was New York in 2017 when we went to Kings Park. Oh, Chris, my man Chris. I love Chris. Chris is a special guy. Still one of the best locations. Just wish we could have gone in, but we had a big group. We did have a big group. That was a big group. How do you feel about the iPhones getting better with taking photos? Do you feel iPhones will ever take over cameras? I feel that iPhones have definitely dipped in. iPhones have taken away business from the folks who, how do I put this? Didn't improve their skills. That's the truth. So that's where iPhones really dipped into that market. But for the people who really learn more about photography, they don't have anything to fear because technology improves in cameras too. So it's not like cameras are standing still while phones are improving exponentially. That's not happening. So cameras, if in the right hands, will always do far more than a camera phone will. That's just a given. What's up, Jay? Says Christopher Love. I still watch the New Orleans vid with the two cool ass old sisters that twerked for you. Oh, that was a funny video. Dope as hell, brother. Cheers, my man, and keep rocking. Thank you. Thank you so much. Sigma makes a 24-1.2. Yeah, I don't know. As a solo photog, how do you shoot and record for YouTube purposes? 2 tripods, put the 2 cameras on a tripod and go. That's what you do. No, Wisconsin, Spokane first, damn it. Get a group together, mother freaker. Aaron, stop being such a little bitch. Hero shots, I meant 35. Hello, KGB here. Oh, here's my naked Russian. Roman is the naked Russian. Roman walks around on Patreon naked. It's very banana hammock, but that's what Roman does. Straight up. It's funny. You got to be on there. He is part of the KGB. Jason Baird says, I have a couple of the Neo 2s and I'm really trying to learn to shoot with light. Is the EOS a huge step up from the Neo 2s? Yep, it's over twice the light output and it's much further spread of light. So that's where the EOS is a much better light than the Neo 2s, but it's also costs more money. So, you know, everything's relative. But yes, it is a better light and it's a lot of fun. iPhone replaced the point and shoot. Cameras will always be better. Yes, exactly. So sorry, Aaron, Wisconsin. Hey, baby, you guys want me. I'm coming. Carlos Cartagena. Doesn't that sound like a Colombian drug lord? I love you, Carlos. I'm just having fun. Have you ever used the new Pro Pro photo flash that can be triggered by a phone camera. No, it's a gimmick. It's stupid. Yes, I've used it, and it's stupid. So I don't know how else to say it. That's just brutally honest. But I think the bottom line is you have you have to have gear. If you're gonna do, it's too expensive for that purpose, and it's not. It's a gimmick. Give me a break. I don't have to say it. It's a gimmick. Taylor says, all seriousness, I sent you an email. I cannot wait to open it up. I'm afraid to see what happens. iPhones and Androids have definitely damaged the market. Those phones give people the wrong impression that those things and their little sensors are equivalent to a real camera. I totally agree, Art. Totally agree. Brent Silly says, geez, Wisconsin is in the house tonight. Y'all are representing. With as much time as you're spending in New Orleans lately, does that mean we can convert you to a Saints fan? Oh, that's a good question. I actually do like the Saints. I like your quarterback. What's his name? Taylor? Come on, Jason, get it together. Why do I not remember his name? Anyway, I really do like your quarterback. I like the Saints, and I love New Orleans. I really do love New Orleans. Hi, Jason. I just purchased the AOS with the battery, and I was wondering if the battery came with the D-Tap cord so I can use it with the Neo 2. Nope, you have to buy the D-Tap cord separately, and that's a great idea. So if you do buy an AOS with the battery, buy that D-Tap cable, guys. It's like $20, 25 bucks, and that enables you to use the AOS battery on the Neo 2, which is a significant increase in power on the Neo 2. And then you don't have to even worry about rechargeable batteries. So it's a really good idea. Jason, what do you think generally about Sony E-mount? Is the real problem to build a lens comparing to other boys like Canon, RF, Nikon, or Fuji system? Well, I love Sony E-mount. Are you talking about E-mount or FE mount? Are you talking about their crop sensor? I don't know exactly what you mean, to be honest. Damn, am I the only one in Texas? I don't know, Art. You may be. That's weird, though. What do you not like about the A7R4? The focus system. I don't like the focus system. And they voted for Trump. Go Texas. Did you get your mic in the mail yet? Is that you? Bandos? That must be Sweeter Dew. I'll have to check. We have the Green Bay Packers. Yes, you do. You do have the Packers. Not Drew Brees. I'm talking about Drew Brees. He's over with. Your freedom video broke my heart. Just watched it. Thank you, Texas Chance Girl. Beth says, don't hate me, dear, but I still have my Nikon D3X. I don't hate you. I'm 65 years old, and I don't have the patience to learn all that complicated cameras. What's the best micro to use? Micro or macro? What are you trying to do, sweetheart? You have barbecue? Yeah, you do have barbecue. Promise you won't get arrested in Texas? There's a good chance I'll get arrested everywhere. Cell phones are destroying bad photographers. That's true. I've seen so many wedding photographers that can't understand exposure, blown out skies, and brides dressed as gray. Boy, to the freaking howdy. You're in Texas? Yes, I would imagine you are, Texas Chance Girl. What's up, Russ? What's up, baby? Michael says, hello, Jason. Guys, I told you a story on a previous live stream where the guy Russ was trying to get me to turn around and go back to the cops that were chasing us. And I said, just keep walking, Russ. Just keep going, Russ. That's Bandos. Hello, Jason, from Michael and Stella in Washington State. Well, see, maybe you guys can convince Michael to go to Spokane, and we can do that. Oh, you shoot flowers? You want a macro lens? Just get the 105 macro from Nikon. That's a great lens. Is the Neo 2 light output stronger than the Canon 600 EX RT2? No, it's not. It's going to be the equivalent once you actually compensate for the amount of modification needed. And this is something that many people do not understand, is that when you use a traditional strobe, you have to modify it 2 or 3 times. Typically, there's a baffle, a sock on the outside of a modifier, and or a deflector plate that really modifies that light to make it aesthetically pleasing. As where with the Roto-Lights, you can shoot them virtually bare bulb. As an example, right now I have the Neo 2 on me at 1% with a diffuser panel on it, and it's very soft light. That's what you guys can do. Oh yeah, brother. Very powerful vid in DC as well. Thank you. Been watching you since the beginning. Thank you. Glad your leg has healed for you too, my man. Thank you so much. I'm working hard at it. Is A7R3 good for weddings, or does the file size make it difficult? I wouldn't shoot the R3 for a whole wedding. It's overkill. I would really shoot with the A9 or the A7 III. What's up, Terrence? What's up, T-Bay? Oh, Terrence and I had a good ass time in Philly, dude. Guys, when I'm telling you, the people come to my workshops, the relationships, I love these people. We have such a good time, and you guys got to come to these workshops. Hello, Jason from the Boston area. What's up, Ralph? Russ Reed says, have you run into Mirage issues? Mirage? With the Sony 200, 600 longer distances? I haven't shot the Sony's 200 to 600. I haven't used it yet. I haven't had a need. Arthur says, I've seen a lot of Roto-Light clones popping up recently. Yep. Imagery, what do they say? Flattery is the sincerest form of flattery, or imitation. That's what it is. Get your stuff together, Jason. But no, but none of them, they're not even close if you actually look at what the lights do. What was the most difficult shoot you've ever done? Oh man. That's I don't know. That's insane. Maybe one that comes to mind is when I went to Arches National Park in Utah, and I was hiking and I was not in the shape that I needed to be, and it was nighttime, and I was miserable. I was nearly tears laying on the side of a freaking slab of rock, and coyotes and rattlesnakes going by. That was pretty miserable. That one comes to mind. What's up, Alicia? Maria says, what's your current daily shooter? And if you upgraded, what would you choose? My current daily shooter is the A9 because the R3 exploded. So I need to get my R3 fixed. But I love my R3. And if I upgraded, what would I choose? I wouldn't upgrade right now. I like what I have. Well, thanks for your response on the Dubai trip. Gosh, you are lucky if to get off with that prank on alcohol. Those dudes, Arabs, are really I have a way with people. I don't know what to say. Roto-Light clone, haven't seen any like them. There's nothing like them, really. Hello, Jason from Trinidad and Tobago. Love your work. Thank you, Maurice. Thank you, my brother. Adam says, any chance of doing a Sigma 35mm comparison? They now have 3 on the market. I'm very interested in the F2 they just released. Sure. Yeah, I'll reach out to B&H Photo and have them send me some stuff. Totally do that. All right, guys, I'm going to see what we had sent in for some image reviews here. Bum, ba bum, ba bum, ba bum. All right, so we have Raphael Schlossman. I'll bring up the issue. Last time we had someone send in nudes. We had Taylor send in nudes, so I'm going to just make sure they're not nudes. And once I have confirmed that, then I'll show you guys the shots. Aaron starting with this what if questions again. You're stranded in the desert with no water, and you've seen no one for days. You see one person, and he says, give up an A9 for your water. Would you do it? Yeah, I would do it because I can always make more money and buy another A9, but I can't buy another life. Ever love a picture so much that you printed it for your wall? If so, yeah, absolutely. Especially my Africa prints. A lot of my Africa prints. Cuba. I have African Cuba printed up here. I have my first album cover or magazine cover. Let me show you guys. Let's see if it'll. That's my first magazine cover. That's printed on the wall. And that's really cool because we did that at an event and then everyone signed it. Everyone who attended the event signed it. It was really cool. So that's a special one for me. And my man Oscar did that for me. That was very kind of him. Can the A9 keep up at 20 frames a second? Hell yeah. Okay, this is from, what was his name again? Okay, I'm just going to show you the picture. It's a very pretty shot. I love the flowers. I love the fact that she's looking at the flowers. That gives the impression that there's a meaning, there's an emotion attached to the flowers and her, which is very important. You have a train in the background, which shows environment, which helps to communicate a storyline of this individual had just been dropped off or something, and then they're thinking of somebody that they love. I would work a little bit more to add a little bit more lighting on her, make it a little bit more, because the shot itself is definitely one of is definitely one that is definitely more of a cinematic kind of a feel. So dropping the exposure on the background, and getting some of the gray skies to be a little darker, and then adding light on her would make this shot even more dramatic. But it's a really great shot. So that would be my recommendation, and I would do that with an EOS inside of an illuminator to be able to get that desired result. That is by Raphael Schlossman. Great job, brother. All right, here is another one. This is by ZXR Photos, my man Gary. Okay, let me show you the shot. Come on, focus. There we go. Gary, this is a great shot. I'm really proud of you on this. This is a girl that seems very distressed. I love the pose in it. I love the natural lighting coming in on the shot. And I love that her legs are, one's underneath and one's on top. And what he did here is by putting that knee up, it gives the model a way to connect her elbow to the knee, which is very important for posing. You got to have a connectedness. And it also enables her to bring her hand there and show that sorrow and that distress that she's going through. So that's a really great shot, Gary. The only thing I'd say is you cut the frame off a little too much on the side to where you're losing a little bit of her foot over here. So I would just leave more room over on that side of the frame, but great job. And guys, when I do the reviews on Patreon, they're much more detailed, but I don't want to go forever on a live stream when you guys are watching. Cool. And then I'm just checking to see, we have some others coming in here. This is by Andrew Herman. This is a very pretty shot. This is a wedding shot. The sky is beautiful in this shot. This is like I took it. This is like really great stuff, Andrew. And when I say I took it, I'm not trying to I'm trying to say that this is the way that I shoot. It looks like a shot of mine, to be honest. You've got beautiful skies in the background, beautiful exposure. This is a lesson in how to expose in this image. This is great stuff. Beautiful tones. The tones are really, really pretty in this shot. The only thing that I would do differently in this image is if you look at the groom is standing and looking at her. I would have the groom stepping towards her. You want the groom to have 1 foot forward and 1 foot back. That'll give him the ability to lean more into the bride. And it may not seem like it, but this is not overexposed. It's just coming out that way when I hold it up to the camera. But the exposure on this is perfect. It's cut a little bit too tight on the width of the image, which is why you're cutting off the top of the gazebo. And the other thing that you need to do is when you shoot this shot, you need to hold your camera up and angle it down so you mitigate the distance there. Because if you look at the gazebo in the shot, guys, you'll see that the size of the gazebo on the bottom is wider than on the top. That's not because the builders of the gazebo screwed up. That's because of the distortion from the lens. So if you look at the shot, that's exactly what's going on. So if you hold your camera up higher, this will actually be proportionately correct. So that's exactly what you want to do. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed those. Jason, the last time you were in Texas 4 years ago, a maniac ran over your gear with his truck. Great video. Yes, he did. Thank you. I ordered a print from Past Gallery. Have you ever, Jason? I have not, from Past Gallery. Let me know how it goes. When you tested the A7 III, what's the highest ISO you use when shooting the models? I don't know, maybe 8,000, 10,000, maybe 8,000. Babe, are you planning to do a collab? Who are you calling me babe? I love it. Who are you? You're probably, never mind. Tell me who you are, but no. Babe, are you planning to do a collab with Tony and Chelsea? No, I'm not. I would love to attend one of your classes. Come to Texas, please, but near me. You little spoiled brat. Absolutely. You're awesome. You just give and give and give. Thank you. That shot is killer, Andrew. Yes, it's beautiful. 98 watching. Guys, it's just YouTube. Don't worry about it. I'm here for you guys. If I'm not worried about it, you guys shouldn't be worried about it either. But yeah, give it a thumbs up, guys. You can at least do that much. That would be appreciated. Keystoning. Yes, you're right, Ralph. It is like keystoning. You're exactly correct. What keystoning, if you guys don't know what he's talking about, if you on the old school or even current projectors, they keystone to actually make everything proportionally correct. Because when you're shooting like if you have a projector on a desk and it's angled up, so inherently when it casts the image onto the screen or whatever else there is, it's going to be distorted. So there's a keystoning feature inside of projectors that makes it proportionately correct. So that's exactly what he's talking about. I was taking some shots in front of a Christmas tree, and some of the shots, the lights weren't lit. I don't know what I was doing wrong. I don't want to lose the lights in the shots. Were they twinkling lights? I'm not trying to be a smart aleck, but were they twinkling lights? That really could be part of it. When the world goes back to somewhat normal, you need to come back to Phoenix. Absolutely. Hey, Craig. Craig's been a long time follower. What's up, Craig? Look at your homeboy drinking water. Look at your homeboy drinking water. And y'all may be saying, what's the big deal? He drinks water. This homeboy did not drink water. But you don't start getting this chiseled face. And yes, it's a handsome face, Adam, you little bitch. You don't start getting this chiseled face if you don't start drinking water. That's just some reality. What's the best settings for printing landscape before importing from Lightroom? Hey, Andrew. Idle Thinker. Honestly, Jason, or excuse me, Idle Thinker, I would honestly just say make sure to pixel peep your own image, truly, because you'll find that there are problems there. And another thing to do is make sure that your horizons are straight. That's a big deal, especially when you're shooting wide angle lenses. So make sure to do that. Hey, Jason, Sigma Art 105 or Sony G Master 135 for portraits? That's a tough one. I've shot both lenses. The Sigma 105 is amazing. Okay, it is legit amazing. The problem with Sigma 105 is it's heavier than a brick. So if you shoot the Sigma 105, just start lifting, okay? God, you guys want to know the craziest thing I ever did with the Sigma 105 was I shot elephants in Africa with the Sigma 105. That was hilarious. And this isn't like petting zoo or San Diego Wild Animal Park. This is the wild. So they don't stand still, or if they do, they're charging your car. So shooting them with the 105, now that was interesting. And they were 10 feet away. You should check my portraits for that. It's like elephant headshots. It's really cool. Shout out from Dubai. What's up, baby? You drink water so much you crave it. Diet Coke is out. Well, it's not all the way out, but I drink so much water, it's hard. I want to show you guys just how good your boy is doing here. Okay, so I'm going to show you. I want to show you guys how committed I've been to this. Okay, so I've had 1,451 calories today so far. Come on, focus. 88 ounces of water. Okay. Check that out. I've already done 13,900. I've done 14,000 steps. I've walked 6.5 miles today. And every step hurts. And I'm not saying that for a pity party. I'm saying it takes perseverance. My ankles are still messed up, but I keep walking. And I just tell myself, keep walking, keep walking, keep walking. And as I'm walking, this is all I hear. I love this song. I can't get over it. I love that song. Oh, man. Notice you were hiding from me the last 2 times you were in NOLA, though. I wasn't hiding from you, Adam. You said you couldn't. You said you couldn't come and help until after 3 o'clock when I'm already in the middle. But you know, Adam, by the time 3 o'clock rolls around, I am in some bunker or crawling through a swamp or something. And like, hey, where are you at? I don't know. I have no clue where I'm at right now. I probably don't even have cell reception. I am not hiding from you. I love you, Adam. Rafael Maxian. That sounds like a clothing designer, does it not? Says, hi, Jason, you mother freaker. So how are you critiquing? Appreciate to have your comments on my shots on Insta. Should I share here? No, what you guys do is email me a shot, and if I'm able to do it, I do it here live. But that's the only time I do it. I do love ABBA. I do. I bought the Sony A6000 when you said it was the best, and the Roto-Lights, and I don't know how to use it, any of it. Well, you got to use it, sister or brother. Or you said you're a chance girl, so I'm assuming you're a sister. You got to use it, girl. Come to a workshop. Just watch my videos. There's like 2 million of them. Guys, go to jasonlanier.com/Roto-Light. I've organized the entire website, the Roto-Light section, by light, and it shows the videos, the images, and everything by light. It really is a big difference. Jared Singleton says, Jason, you mother freaker. I'm still waiting on that video I did with the fro. Could you tell us why that was never uploaded? Did you guys have bad chemistry? Could you elaborate on the video y'all shot? Great question. Jared Poland, which is Frono's photo, was very nice to me. He was very nice to me. And we had a good time shooting together. One of the memory cards, we shot it on 3 cameras. One of the memory cards that I had completely melted. And I mean melted. I literally put it inside the Mac, and the Mac overheated and it melted the memory card. So I'm missing one of those cameras, and it bothers me so much because that camera was the one I was mic'd to. So we have the Fro's camera with his audio, and then we have the 2 of us. But then I don't have one camera on me, and I don't have my mic. So I've always been trying to see if I could salvage something from that, which I could. And he was a gentleman, and he was very nice to me. And I have to say that. So I have nothing but good things to say about Jared. I should put that out. I really should. Babe, this guy calling me babe is cracking me up. Babe, you made to buy first Sony cameras back in 2016. Now I own 7. He's calling me babe. It's cracking me up. Now I own Sony A7 II, A7 III, A7S III, and A7C, and a bunch of glasses. Well, you are welcome, baby boy. My little schnookums. Do you still recommend the Sony 90 macro? Absolutely. It's a fantastic lens. Hey, Jason, shout out from Cape Town, South Africa. I love Cape Town. Cape Town's gorgeous, dude. That's like going back to Jurassic Park. 14,000 steps. Nice, but be careful. What, the KGB? You following me? You following me? Do you still use the Batis 85? Nope. I just don't need to. Hey, brother, have you been back to Detroit to get kissed again by those 2 women? You guys got to see that video. There's a video where I get kissed by 2 ladies on the side of a road. And then as I'm getting kissed, I'm not making this up. And I did not ask to be kissed. I gave them money. And this video is on YouTube. It's like just look up Abandoned Detroit. And it's something about an old theater that I shot. And these 2 ladies were yelling at me. I was in there with Jason Coach, my videographer. They're yelling at me. They saw me inside of the abandoned theater, and they were yelling at me from the street. And I think they were street ladies, whatever, ladies who work for that kind of stuff. I'll just say that. Anyway, and they were yelling. They're asking for money. And I said, hey, let me finish my shoot. And if you, and I just said this, I said, if you keep things safe for me down there, which meant nothing to me, but I wanted to give them something to do. I said, if you keep things safe for me down there, I'll help you out when I get out. So they're like, okay, baby. And so then I got done shooting. I go downstairs with Jason, and I look at my wallet, and all I had was 100 and a couple 20s. And I'm like, all right. So I just gave each one of them a $20 bill. And they were so excited that they started kissing me. And this is in the video, you can watch it. And one kissed me so hard that it pushed me against the car. Well, the funny thing was, as she did this, her pimp drove by. I'm not making this up. Her pimp drove by. He got furious and started screaming and telling this bleep 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 to get back to work or whatever else. And so, yeah, you got to watch it. You got to watch it. It's funny stuff. The other day while I was shooting a VW bus in a dark garage with lights on the roof rack, lights to the eye were on solid. When looking at footage, they flickered softly. Shutter speed out of whack, maybe. Okay, yes, the shutter speed absolutely matters. It's the amount of hertz coming through. So if you guys notice, if you want to figure out shutter speed problems with flickering lights, put the camera in video mode and move the shutter until the flickering stops. Kind of like if you shoot a computer screen, a monitor. If you guys move the shutter, if you'll notice at higher shutter speeds, it flickers faster. So you have to slow down that shutter speed. So if you're having that problem with your photography, do the same thing and you'll fix it. Would you shoot a fashion shoot with only continuous lighting, no flash? Hell yeah, absolutely. Did you upload a video from Louisville, Kentucky? It's rained harder that weekend than I've ever seen before. Yes, God loved me that weekend. It rained like a mofo. I don't think I have. No, I don't think I have. No. Ladies of the Night. Yes, thank you, Arthur. That's exactly what they were. Sounds like that scene in Taken. Yeah, it was like that scene in Taken. What place have you not been that you would like to go shoot? Well, obviously, top of the list is Chernobyl. Japan. After the tsunami, Japan's got some crazy places that would be really fun to go and shoot. What's really cool about this Africa trip that I'm doing in June is that it's very different than the other Africa trips that I've done. I've done several Africa trips to Ethiopia, which are humanitarian. I've done several Africa trips to the safari in South Africa, which was amazing. And this one is a mix of all of that. So the first part of the trip is going down the river and just seeing all of the beautiful nature in Zimbabwe. It's going to be insane. The second half of the trip is at a lodge that they've rented out. And then from there, we're going to go into some villages to do humanitarian work. It's just like it hits every single checkbox that I have or checks every box that I have. And I'm very excited for it. Where do you see photography going in the future in terms of the post-processing applications using artificial intelligence? I think it'll continue to improve, but what'll continue to happen is I think photography is going to, if it hasn't already, photography is going to go where the cinematic industry is gone. You have some movies that are all about CGI and all about being fake. And I even like some of those movies, so I can't complain, but that's the equivalent of all the composite photography you see today. It's like, if anytime, guys, you see oceans and a Milky Way and a lighthouse and whatever else all within one frame, it's fake. Give me a break. And I'm not criticizing it. I'm just saying, don't believe it's real, because it's not. So I think the photography industry is going that way, but I think there'll always be a good segment of the photography industry that values real photography, just like even in movies, it's still a real value in non-CGI work. And I think that is probably the best way to describe the way I think the industry is going to go. And I think the difference now is that we're having to, as artists, decide which path we want to take, because it really is an investment on both sides. If you're going to stay in the real photography realm, that's a lot of lighting, that's a lot of posing, that's a lot of whatever else. If you're going into the composite realm, that's a lot of editing that you have to learn. So it's really hard to be both, because just there's only so many hours in the day. So I think that's really what it boils down to. Do you ever give marketing advice or one-on-one help through your Patreon? Yes, I do. Guys, you got to look at the Patreon. I mean, you really do. It's when people say, oh, I can't come to a workshop, that's why I created Patreon. And not to mention the fact, if you are thinking about coming to a workshop in the future, anyone as a Patreon subscriber gets a discount on workshops. You really should look at it, guys. You need to do a Panama trip. I would find a way to go on that trip. That would be a blast. Yeah, that'd be amazing. That'd be amazing. Would you ever shoot at PR? Do you mean Puerto Rico? I imagine you do. Yeah, absolutely. Let's set up a day to go to Japan, Jason. I'd love to go back to Japan. I've been there a number of times. It's an incredible place. Shooting with an A9 under bad fluorescent lights at night, I'm experiencing a purple shadow on my shots. Sometimes, is this the same thing related to banding? Yes, it is, especially if you're shooting with part of it can be your lens, and part of it can be if you're shooting with the silent shutter or the electronic shutter on the camera. So you need to turn those off and go to just a purely mechanical shutter if you're having real problems with that. I think the biggest change on the horizon is that we will all be moving away from strobes and moving to LED. I agree. And guys, I was telling people years ago, DSLRs are going to fade out and mirrorless is going to come, and that's going to happen with LEDs. It is happening. So it's going to be a big change in the future. It really is. 5-minute warning, guys. 5-minute warning. Get in your questions now. 5 minutes is going to put us an hour and a half, and I love doing these. I hope you guys enjoy these. Tell me how to make these better. Would it be more helpful to you guys if these were planned? Would it be more helpful to you guys if these were planned every night of a week so you guys could make time for it and schedule it? If that's the case, I want to make sure that we get these and make them the most beneficial to you. So let me know what you think about that. Great way to start your day. 6 a.m. here. Got to get to work. You're welcome. Thank you so much, Chantel. Let me know how to make these better, guys. If we had a timer today, yes. I have 2 strobes and LED lighting. I love the LED much more. Yeah, once you start, it's like mirrorless, guys. Once you start to learn the mirrorless and understand it, you're like, oh, I get it. And same thing, it's like once you start to move the LED, you're like, oh, I understand why so many people are moving to it. What about a Zoom with fans? I could do a Zoom with you guys. That would be fun. That would be a lot of fun. Zoom is how I do all of my Patreon. So I try to definitely keep some stuff because those people are paying for that. So I definitely try to keep some stuff that is exclusive for them because they're paying for it. And that's what they pay for. But Thursday night live streams, yeah, I'll see what I can do. What night of the week will work best for most of you guys? Just let me know. Let me know your feedback. And, I think it's nice that you guys can count on the podcast. So please, guys, check out those podcasts. And please, if you guys like this stuff, let me just say this much. If you guys like this stuff, don't take it for granted. And I don't say that to be mean at all. I'm saying share it and tell people about it. Just don't assume that all of this, oh, he's big and here he has this and that. No, you guys sharing this stuff is how I can still continue to do these things. So with the podcasts and with the live streams and the videos, make sure that you like them, make sure that you comment, make sure that you share them with people. That stuff makes a difference to the algorithms, to YouTube, to the algorithms, to Apple and to Spotify and all these things. They have to see, because the more popular these become, truly, the more I'm able to do them. And not because of ad revenue. The ad revenue is really a very small, tiny component of this. It's really about building the larger fan base. So if you guys like these, that's the only thing I'm asking you to do. It's like somebody said, hey, we have all these people watching, but only a certain amount of thumbs up. I'm not saying that to guilt you guys. I'm saying I'm asking you, if you guys like these things, all I need you to do is share them, comment on them, and give them a thumbs up. And support the podcast, support Patreon, support YouTube, and that makes a big difference for me to be able to continue to do this with all of you. Is your podcast on YouTube as well? I am working on adding it to YouTube. In fact, you may see that tomorrow. I may throw it on YouTube, so that I may just do that. I love your live feeds. Thanks for passing on all your honest wisdom. You're welcome. And here's the good thing about his stream. He actually reads the comments. Yeah, absolutely. By the way, your suggestion last year to grab an 85 as a workhorse was definitely spot on. I love my 85. Yeah. Guys, if you guys don't notice, when you guys ask questions, I don't run out of answers. So I know my stuff. I don't know how else to say it. So if you guys have stuff that you need from me, I give you real answers, and I give you real answers that help. So if you're thinking about lights, guys, seriously, another way to support us is to go to rotolight.com/JasonOffers. I'm not even on here asking you guys for money. So I'm really trying to do this because I want to have this connection with you guys, and I love it. So Jason, thanks for your valuable time. Thank you. Thank you. So until next time, guys, I love you. Share this live stream with others. Share the podcast. Do that stuff, guys. That's all I'm asking you to do. That's all I need. So have I ever done a shoot in Dallas? Oh, yeah, tons of times. Yeah, absolutely. Go to rotolight.com/Jason offers. That's rotolight.com/Jason offers. So until next time, my friends, keep shooting. Never give up on your dreams. Find a gig that works for you. And remember, you only have one chance to get it right. We'll talk to you guys later. I love you and I appreciate you.